Happy Tuesday. Happy April 2nd. Welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show. We're presented by Compliment. That's lovecompliment.com. Fun show today to start the week, to start the month. A little bit about April Fools. I fell for some April Fools jokes yesterday. 3 of them,
actually. Did? 3? Wow.
Did. Yep. We'll get to that. We'll get to much more. We'll get to what I did yesterday. And we'll actually get into a new Am I the A-hole, which are always fun topics for this show, especially when they involve vegan topics, which is what the ones that we talk about. So that's what we'll do. Doug, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, Matt. I am doing quite well. It is a new day, new month. Feeling happy, healthy, strong, ready to go.
Yep, good.
I did not fall. I am proud to say I did not fall for. Oh no, I did. I fell for one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So my kids are on spring break this week. So my daughter and I decided to take a trip down to Florida where my mom lives, who comes to the show a lot. Vicky, I think she's Vicky Craven on here. Anyway, so we're doing that. We drove down on Easter. So I forgot it was Easter entirely. We're not big Easter celebrators, but I just totally forgot it was Easter until the end of the day. And then yesterday we went to Disney World, Disney World Magic Kingdom. We said we were going to drive down for this thing, visit my mom mostly, but do one day, go over to Orlando and do it. And as a result, I think because I was in Disney World dealing with all the stimulation that is that experience, I just kept forgetting it was April Fool's Day. So I just kept falling for things. Whenever something would come, I get texted something, I would believe it. So I fell for, first, Holden sent me this thing about this soccer player from who plays for Manchester City, Jack Grealish, getting signed to Charlotte FC. And I was like, oh man, this is great. Because you hear about these MLS signings like Messi. And I just couldn't believe it. I texted it to Steven and I said, this is too good. This can't be. But it was like, I believed it. And
it was in fact too good. It was too good.
Exactly. It was too good. So I did write, no way this is true to Holden. But I did believe it was true. Then I felt Matt Tolman on our team call said that he was selling. We sold the company, and
that's the one I fell for.
Yeah, he tagged me and the other person who couldn't be on the call and said, "Hey, make sure you see this important company update for this little snippet of a recording." So I watched that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that happened."
And you were at Disney World,
right? And so I fell for that one. And then this morning, I almost put a thing in the show notes that was Wendy's makes a full plant-based location where they're doing just potatoes. That's all they're doing. And they had 5 different potato things the Veg News got to try, and including the potato, what's their drink they have there? I don't know what that thing is.
The Frosty?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so about a minute, I was just buying that. And then I was like, oh my God, this is an April Fool's thing. So finally figured that out. So anyway, that was my worst I've done on April Fool's, for sure.
Yeah. I don't think so. There were a couple of good ones that I saw the Wendy's one. I thought that was good, but immediately knew it was a April Fool's joke. Mm-hmm. On it, our colleague Michael sent me a text message that Onnit had sent out, a marketing message that they had turned their Alpha Brain supplement into a cereal called Alpha Bran.
That's evil.
But it was like super cheesy and done in a very, very cheesy way. And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did this." And I was like,
"So he thought it was real?"
Yeah, he thought it was very real. But immediately I knew it was April Fool's. I was like, seriously?
Right.
But,
right. Mm-hmm. Well, good day. I don't mind that holiday. I never really partake. I don't do many things. I did the thing about Boston when I told everyone with No Meat Athlete that I was going to miss my son's birth to go run the Boston Marathon, because that was the blog was all about that Boston Marathon quest of mine in those days, that first 6 months or year of the blog. And people, I swear the traffic just dropped 30% the next day. It was crazy. And maybe it was due to something else, I don't know, but those days I monitored it like a hawk. I watched that traffic, and it just plummeted the next day, and it was lower forever. I mean, it gradually rose, but it just was at a new level after that. So you put it in like that one.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, the problem is, I think that it's fun if you can do it really well. If it's not done well, and it's not believable, then it's just like a little cheesy. I saw something yesterday that a little Instagram story that was like, shout out to all the social media managers who got a frantic email from the CEO of their companies today saying, "Why aren't we doing an April Fool's joke?" and having to scramble. I thought that was pretty funny, because that definitely happens. And that's happened. It happened with us, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably seen as such an easy way to humanize the brand, do the thing. Anyway, I went to Disney World, as I said, and ate very well. I appreciate that about Disney whenever I do go there, which is not much, but I go to, I've been now twice in the past 3 years. And then I've gone to Disney Springs whenever my kids play soccer in Orlando. We go to Disney Springs. And Disney Springs is okay with the plant-based options, but Disney World is every single restaurant you go to. Maybe there are exceptions, but I mean, out of, I don't know, 50 or 100 restaurants, 95% of them have like a dedicated plant-based thing. And usually it's like 3 or 4 plant-based things. Often fake meat things. Like yesterday I had a plant-based Chicago-style hot dog, which was a Beyond sausage.
Okay.
And then at dinner, we ate at the restaurant where Lady and the Tramp had their first kiss over that spaghetti noodle, and they had vegan spaghetti and Impossible meatballs. So it was actually really good. So I don't, and then you know the Dole Whip, the soft serve, the pineapple soft serve thing. Yeah, we have that down there.
Oh wow.
At someplace. So it was good.
When you go to Disney, you're not looking for a whole food, bean salad or something like that. No. So I got a question. So you know how restaurants, when a famous person comes and sits at a table, they put like a plaque that says like, so and so sat here. Do they have that for the Lady and the Tramp restaurant? Like,
no, they don't have that, but they have a big sculpture of them in the middle. So that's probably even better.
All right.
I thought you were going to say, did they put one out? Did they say they were going to do one? Because I was there, because the Plant-Based Morning Show co-host was in the restaurant. So maybe that forever.
Put a little plaque for you. No, I definitely wasn't thinking that at all. No.
Anyway, it was a good day. We did some rides, met some princesses, which last time I was there, you couldn't meet the princesses because it was COVID last time. So you had to, there were a couple of princesses, but they were very far away from everybody, separated by like a river from people. In this case, you could actually go meet the princesses and take pictures. So my daughter's a little old for that now, but it was still very nice. And I rode the new Tron roller coaster, which was, you're like on a motorcycle kind of thing. That's your position for the whole ride.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it was just different. It was fun. Long line. Packed park yesterday. Worst day you could go. And price killed me. I thought it was $100 per ticket when I looked it up. And then it turns out there's like something equivalent to surge pricing, basically. So I'd already made the promises if we're doing this. And then I saw the pricing and it was absurd. And then you got to skip the line pass. And it was a much more expensive day than planned, which I think is how Disney happens. That's how it goes.
Yep.
But it was good.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. How long are you down in Florida? I
will come back tomorrow after our show. Go to Asheville, actually. Hey, maybe we can get a drink, Doug.
Thanks for the heads up ahead of time and stuff. Maybe we can. That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's say good morning to people. We haven't really said anything yet, but a lot of people are here. Katie C, Jeff Hudnall, Britters, Kelly K, Aaron Jenkins, Monica Gallegos, back from vacation in Mexico. That's pretty nice. Let's see who else. Justin Kerner, who we see from time to time. Dale Stevens, Daniel P, Anne Marie, Big Meanie X Claus, Matt O'Connor, Mr. Jeffrey, Phyllis Hauser, D1 to Know Adventure Coach. All kinds of good familiar names here. No, what's that one guy's name?
Garuda.
Yeah, no Garuda today. Yeah. We'll see. He's a good time. He's fun. All right. What else, Doug? Anything else before we jump into our?
I got a fitness update.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
I did something new. I'm just on like a whole new fitness kick right now.
Good. It's great.
But so a friend of mine's training for his first triathlon, and for his birthday, he wanted a couple of us to do a brick workout with him, where we rode bikes for, I don't know, I think it's like 45 minutes or something like that, and then did a 45-minute run.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never done that before, and it's really hard.
Really?
Yeah, your legs. I mean, it's just that transition from the bike to the run is it just feels really funny, and it took me at least 10 or 15 minutes to kind of get running legs that actually felt like running legs.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Is it because you're tired, or is it just that your muscles are like conditioned to just move a different way?
I think it's the muscles condition thing. Because I mean, the ride wasn't particularly long or difficult or anything like that. I mean, we pedaled hard, but it wasn't like crazy where I was just totally wiped out. But that transition to the run, it just felt so bizarre, and your legs kind of felt a little bit rubbery, and they just weren't. I don't know. It was weird. I think it's just the transition from one.
Yeah. How long were you on the bike before you started running?
Like 45 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. You think then, like in an Ironman, it's like it's equivalent amount of the percentage of time that it takes to adjust, so that you're like basically done the marathon by the time your legs start feeling good.
Yeah, I would imagine. After what is it, like 120 miles or something like that on the bike? Like, yeah. But it was fun. It was actually, it was quite, I don't know. It was a very fun experience.
Yeah, good for you. I'm glad to hear you're doing this new fitness stuff. This new thing of yours is proving maybe you have some staying power.
I know. 10 minutes of yoga a day. Suddenly I'm, in the gym lifting weights and doing brick workouts and doing all kinds of crazy things.
It's great. Good. I mean, it's a great feeling. I love those moments when you feel that excited about new fitness stuff. So I need to do that myself. I need to get back to that. All right. People are getting excited about the brick workouts here. Amory says they never feel good. Justin Kerner says good way to get a lot of zone 2. Ritters just says brickwork. No, nothing else needed to be said. Just that was an exclamation point. Mr. Jeffrey comments on my water bottle. I think I said on the Friday show that my preferred water bottle, get to use the plastic one and carry it around. Not saying you get a new fresh bottle every time. You refill it, but then after a week or so, you move on to a new one. And that way you don't look like you're trying too hard.
Do you rinse it out, or do you just drink out of the same bottle?
Just drink the whole. Just keep drinking. Same, all goes to the same place.
Okay. All that yummy bacteria from your mouth. Yep. Awesome.
Yep. No, I actually did bring a real water bottle here, but my mom, she only drinks these plastic bottles. So that's how she does water here. So that's what you get.
Okay.
Yes. All right, good. Well, good fitness update, Doug. Appreciate that. And anything else? I guess we should jump into our weather, huh? Of which there's not a whole lot, but there's some good stuff to come.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. No music today. I don't have the extra computer with me, but that's all right. Beyond Meat, impossible competitor, who I'm now actually, no, I had both yesterday, has introduced an updated, expanded selection of their Beyond Crumbles. These are frozen in grocery stores, and they've got the third-party certifications from American Heart Association, that heart check thing, which may or may not be corrupt. I don't really know. And American Diabetes Association's Better Choices for Life program. They have different flavors, though, Doug. Beyond Crumbles Original, Beyond Beef Crumbles Feisty. That sounds like that's
feisty.
You'll be using for a breeder night if you ever do it. And Beyond Sausage Crumbles Italian Style. This is probably what I'll be using if I end up using that, which I would. If that's especially with the new formulation. I don't really know if it is. They didn't say that. But remember, Beyond is replacing their coconut oil with avocado oil.
Right. Yep.
For me, just puts it over the line of a food that I can start eating. And I'll say this is not a terrible thing for me. So I would do that, but I don't know if it is. The thing is, I always thought the sausage does a better job. Oh, that's sausage crumbles, because that's not just the beef crumbles. That's the Italian one is the sausage crumbles. So that will be perfect. I guess it will save me from crumbling my own Beyond sausage.
There you go. That sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, I think so. 12 grams of protein, less than 1 gram of saturated fat. So this must be the new recipe, and no cholesterol in a serving of that. So yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good. Beyond is getting closer and closer to something I can eat now and then, and not feel too bad. Because the other good thing about being crumbles is you don't have to eat a whole sausage at once. You could sprinkle it in your pasta sauce or whatever, and that's
what does that mean? What does crumbles mean? Does that mean it comes in that like large pack?
That would be my guess. Yeah. The picture, they showed some pictures on Veg Economist, and it's that resealable pack thing. No, not that thing. I think it's like a resealable bag, and it's already crumbled, frozen.
Oh, but that's different than the like beef crumbles.
No, I think it's the same thing.
No.
But now they have it in sausage, and now they have a feisty flavor.
Okay.
And
what's the difference between sausage and beef? Like what?
The sausage is different. It has like it has spices and things. It has fennel seeds and stuff like that in the Italian style sausage and hot pepper flakes. But they could also put that in the beef crumbles, obviously. So why is this? I don't know. It's just different. The sausage it's like greasier, different texture.
Okay. All right. I trust you.
Anyway, they're in the Ziploc resealable bags. So that'd be nice. I mean, honestly, the sausage thing, it'd be nice to have it already crumbled, because it's not that easy to mash it up in the pan and get it into crumbles. Sometimes it causes problems. All right. Anyway, enough about that. Not much else. I mean, Oatly's got 2 new partnerships, none of which that exciting, but Tous Les Jours, you know that one, Doug? It's a bakery cafe chain. You seem to know a lot of these bakery cafe chains.
I don't know this one at all. No.
It must be a competitor to that one that you know. Was that one that you?
Au Bon Paul?
Yeah. No, not that. Yeah, that for sure. But don't you go to another place?
Le Pret?
Yes, Pret. Pret à manger, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it has gourmet pastries, cakes, desserts. Oatly's now their exclusive partner. They've got 100 stores in the U.S. and 1,750 globally. So that is that's good. Oatly keeps on the partnerships, and then they've got Swiss Federal Railways. That seems like a big one. We saw earlier that they partnered with Deutsche Bahn, which is the German railway thing. So now they've got this the smallest format of Oatly that you can get anywhere is on the Swiss Federal Railways.
What does that mean? Like a single serve?
Yeah, and it's like a little interesting shaped pack, like a geometric shape thing. I don't know how to describe it. So anyway, they seem they reduce food waste and all that, but it's exclusive milk, 100 or exclusive vegan milk, no upcharge, and 160 dining carriages on that train line. So they do make these partnerships along with their dumb ads. They keep also expanding the partnerships. So good for them.
I mean, I think Oatly's killing it.
It does seem that way. We make fun of the advertising all the time, but they do seem to be really making moves. So good for them. Yeah. And finally, the National Trust, which I didn't know about. The Guardian referred to this as if everyone knows what the National Trust is. They've long prided themselves on their famous scones, and now they're dealing with blowback against them and having to defend them against the accusations that they've gone secretly woke with the introduction of their vegan recipe for the scones. So I'd look it up. National Trust is like, I think it's like sort of a nonprofit, save the forest, save the culture kind of thing in the UK.
Okay.
Stephen here, maybe he would know and could correct us. But they do that. But then I think they also make scones and you can be a membership. You can subscribe to their like monthly scone club. So I think they sort of fundraise by making different foods and things.
Okay. All right.
Like Girl Scout cookies, right? They sell cookies to do their other mission. I think that's what happens here. But I think these scones are like, have a reputation of just being really good, classic British scones. But apparently they say it was a few years ago that they changed the recipe. They got rid of butter and put in vegetable shortening. But some people are saying they're not as good as they used to be. They're dry, not the same. And they accusing it of being this sort of woke agenda thing happening in the background secretly. National Trust says, they just changed the recipe and they like it. It's not, nothing. Eat it with butter, eat it with cream, whatever you want to do with your scones is fine. Like it's not a,
it's not a different recipe.
But they did, and then she did say, this is there from Director of Communications, actually sort of, got a little snappy. Said the culture warriors have reached the gates of the Citadel. Now our scones are, quote, secretly woke. If you come for our scones, you'd best not miss. So she doesn't like that. You can't even make a vegan thing anymore without it being a woke move, apparently.
Or like maybe not even an intentionally and unintentionally vegan thing.
Right.
Lots of Oreos woke.
Right. Exactly. I mean, maybe because the originals probably had real lard in them or whatever. But now they're woke, I guess.
Yeah. As Mr. Jeffrey says here, I can guarantee you with full confidence. That's a pretty big claim right there. With full confidence, they changed the recipe to save money and nothing to do with wokeness.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And I wouldn't guarantee full confidence, but I think it's probably what happened. Like a lot of companies get rid of the real animal product because it's easier and lasts, more shelf stable, all these other things, and then it works out just fine. Yeah, I am sick of that. I'm sick of at both sides. I'm just sick of the political fighting stuff. I guess everybody is. I'm probably not. I mean, I don't know. Are you sick of that, or do you like live for that stuff because you're like a politician guy?
No. I'm sick of it too. Are you kidding? Like the fact that scones have to be woke or non-woke. I mean, or suddenly everybody's shooting their Bud Light, with guns and stuff.
But what about like them saying? What about people on the other side saying, like, yeah, but now suddenly everybody's plant-based. Now suddenly I gotta like replace my burger with an Impossible Burger.
Yeah, but no one's making you do that. No one's actually doing that.
Right, that's the thing. No one is making you do that, and that is. I overhear conversations sometimes of people who act like you just. I hate this stuff.
I mean, honestly, if like, all right, so I am fully confident that this has nothing to do with wokeness, or they weren't trying to make a statement by going plant-based with these scones. But honestly, like that.
I think you just said you couldn't guarantee that fully confident.
I can't. Okay, but I mean, logically, that's not. I mean, they would have made a statement around it if it was for plant-based reasons, something like that, or like to be aligned with their save the forest or whatever, Right. But why would you not make a statement about that? But that's actually worse. like to me, like but you could get upset that the company would change their recipe, right? Because the scones that you've known and you've loved are now taste a little bit different because they have a slightly different recipe. I can see getting upset about that. Not for wokeness, but just being upset about it. But when like, I don't know, when suddenly every company is, because they made some sort of tweet or something like that for Black History Month or something like that. I mean, like that's just, it's out of control.
It is out of control. And I will try to stand back and be on both sides here, or not be on anything too deep in either side. I see it on both sides, and it's out of control. Just everyone just needs to relax a little bit.
Or everybody getting all up in arms when Cracker Barrel added Beyond sausages as an option.
Impossible, yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's crazy. All right. Anyway, there you go. There's your weather report. By the way, update, Doug. I wish I had music to play an update. I last time mistakenly said Carly's book Scrappy Cooking releases April 9th. I think I said next week.
Yeah,
it's not today. Not today. Yeah, it's not today. And I've confirmed just this instant. Went to my email to see the confirmation that she will be on our show on Thursday. This Thursday, not next Thursday, as I said. So
excellent.
Can't wait. By Carly. I have to go buy another copy of Scrappy Cooking at the store, buy a real copy instead of my advanced copy because I did not bring it with me, and I'm going straight to Asheville. So pick that up to have it on the show.
Well, if you're on the compliment email list, you're about to get a whole big recipe, a secret recipe, special release from Carly's new book. So watch out for that. Cook it up.
Or go get on the email list for that reason. Lovecompliment.com. If you want a Scrappy Cooking recipe, go there. Or go to Carly's blog, go to Instagram and see a billion of them. But
no,
go get one free one.
This is an exclusive.
Yeah, but not this one. Right. All right, good. So that'll be fun. But yeah, go get that book. It's a great book, and Carly's awesome. So you can go pre-order that book, or no, not pre. You can go actually order that book now, or go out to your local independent bookseller and buy it. That's even better, maybe.
Absolutely. But do it this week. That'll help with get her some press.
Yes, that's a good thing to do at the week of release. Okay, there you go. There is that, and let's jump in. These are two fun things today. I should have teased the Piers Morgan thing either. He's not a fan of the Christspiracy thing, so we'll get to that in just a second. But here's the AITA. All right, the headline of it is vegan food is expensive. If she wants to eat it, she can buy it herself. I don't have the original post. Well, I have some of it. Yeah, my daughter, 15, almost 16, went vegetarian about a year ago. Overall, it went well. Didn't add much to the grocery list. The family already didn't eat much meat. So he put that on Reddit. That was the beginning. Then he goes on. She's been talking about going vegan for a while. And the last time I got groceries, she asked me to pick some stuff up. Overall, it almost doubled the price of our grocery bill. He continued. He said, I found most of the food to be bad. Vegan cheese has to be the grossest thing I ever tried. You know, I'll agree with him on that one, probably. I mean, I don't know what kind he got, but chances are he got Dia or whatever, and probably was terrible. She kept talking about it, so I told her if she goes vegan, she will have to get her own job and pay for her groceries. I also told her that we cannot afford to double the grocery bill. I'm not going to replace things with alternatives that the family doesn't like. This resulted in an argument, and now she's calling me a jerk.
What's your take, Matt?
What do you think? I think the doubling of the grocery bill is absurd talk. I think he probably bought the normal family groceries, the same amount of meat, probably bought the same supplies that would normally feed the whole family, and now also bought all her vegan food. That'd be my guess. I'm just guessing. If she's called and said pick some things up, he probably didn't, then reduce the rest of the list. So I guess they didn't eat much meat to begin with, but the cheese or whatever. Yeah. So they added this. They probably picked a bunch of expensive stuff. It sounds like with the vegan cheese. Kelly K says eat more beans, and that's, I would say, for the dad. Like we maybe need to be budget conscious with this thing. If we're gonna disrupt the family grocery shopping, and we're not 18 years old, we do need to like make some concessions. So I think a conversation can be had about reducing the bill, but I think he can be a lot more supportive than this as well, right? Like I mean, eating the beans, like right, figuring out how to eat much healthier stuff probably. That happens to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But I don't think she has to pay for her own groceries. I think you can probably support her. Even if she was going to a totally different diet. Like if my kids said, hey, we're going paleo now, I'm not going to make them buy the groceries. I'll support what they're trying to do, and I'll talk to them, and we'll have conversations about it. But
Okay, so that's that. I want to unpack that in a minute. I want to unpack that one in a minute.
Well, we got to get the other side, right? We got to. Okay, go ahead.
But going back to this one, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no way that it doubled the bill. There's just no way. But also, maybe he was buying a bunch of Beyond stuff and the vegan cheese and like all that. And that stuff is very expensive, right? So you have to have the conversation with her, be like, hey, these are expensive items. This is what we can do. These are alternatives that are cheap, like beans or lentils or something like that. If you'd like to do this, then I'll get you these. We'll cook with that. You can get 1 bag of cheese per week or 1 fake meat per week or whatever, and I can support that. And then on top of that, if you want to, who knows, if you want more, then you can pay for that or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, just cutting her off because she wants to eat vegan food, that's ridiculous.
Right. It sounds like he's not just upset about the price. It sounds like he also doesn't like the diet, period. Doesn't like change, maybe. Doesn't like the younger generation, these punk kids doing different things than the good old days. So I'm sure some of that's behind it. Dale says, I don't agree with the prices. Meat is super expensive, as is other junk. My tofu block is $3 and it lasts me 3 to 5 meals. No meat serving costs less than that. And that is a good point. They said, though, that they don't eat much meat in the family. So if they're not eating much meat, if they're eating like a lot of vegetarian meals, and then she comes in and now that she's going vegan, suddenly they're buying, I guess, vegan cheeses, just eggs. That stuff would add to the bill. Or maybe they didn't eat a lot of meat to begin with. And now now she's adding all this vegan meat to the menu because now it's, it's not meat, but it's also somehow as soon as she goes vegan, she wants to get all this other stuff that they could eat on their vegetarian diet, but they just don't. So who knows? It's possible. Sometimes teenagers are just oblivious and they just list all these things and they just think money just grows on trees. So that's possible. Right. Yeah. Very possible that she just gave a bunch of stuff and said, here, I'm just going to throw this out in the universe and hope it comes back to me in the form of food.
And has no idea. Yeah. And it might be more than she actually needs, like if they bought a whole pack of Beyond Meat or something like that and a whole pack of cheese, like chances are she's not going to eat all that every week. So, yeah, I mean, but now, I would, are they the asshole? Are they the a-hole or no? It's the dad? What's your verdict?
A little bit. He's being unreasonable, reactionary parent, knee jerk. I mean, you can talk a little more with the kids. They're teenager. Let's probably have other
teachable moment. Come on, Dad.
All right, but so that we got to switch sides here. If we're vegan, we've raised the kids vegan, and they come home from teenagers and they say, "I got to go paleo now because this is the cool new thing." Or carnivore. Carnivore, I'm having a serious conversation with them, and I'm saying this is really dangerous for you. You can't eat this way.
Yeah.
Paleo, if they're still eating a ton of vegetables, but they also want to eat some meat. I mean, I've always said I'll encourage them to try stuff and I will support them. I'm not going to say, I think I used to say, we're not going to cook that stuff at home. And that was when they were young children. I don't know. I think I would support, I don't know if I'd cook it, but I wouldn't say you have to pay for your groceries. I mean,
so here's the difference. There's a slight difference in my opinion. Maybe there's an obvious bias happening right now. So there's nothing, I imagine, the father can't be morally objective to buying plant-based foods, right?
Yes, they can. He can. For sure they can. People, I mean, it seems silly to me, but you can say this vegan thing is a modern woke trend and it's not the natural way to eat. And these lab-made foods, which they're not really lab-made, but these manufactured process, you can have a moral sort of thing there and say this is not how humans are meant to eat.
But it doesn't sound like that's his complaint.
No, I do wonder if it's in the background, and that's part of the reason there's bitterness. I don't know, though. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But I think we need to accept that there can be a moral thing on the other side. Okay. Now, the environmental thing, that's a little bit harder to argue that if your family, if that's just like your family's thing, is we have this environmental. But then I guess you could say we don't care about the environment in our family, and that's our thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
so what about your kids? Like, what if your daughters come home?
What I was going to say, though, is like, what if you don't want to support the meat industry with your money? Right? Like,
he doesn't want to support the fake food industry, the woke food industry.
Yeah.
You find it impossible to see these other points of view.
I do not. That is not true. That is not true.
You like the politics so much.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all. On the poly side, I pride myself on the willingness to talk and understand people.
Right. Okay. All right. So your daughters come home and say, we want to be keto or paleo or whatever. And they're 15 and 12. What are you doing?
I say, not in my house. You get out of here right now. I will not spend a dime of my money on meat for your.
I'm serious. What do you say? You're not allowing it?
No, I mean, no, I would allow it. Yeah, sure. I mean, right now, I mean, even right now, even at age 7, especially with their daughter, like she has never chosen to eat meat that I'm aware of. But we give her the option to eat cheese or whatever, and most of the time she chooses not to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not gonna.
Right.
No, if that's what she wanted to do and she had reasons to do it, I would support it.
Yeah.
I think like where we would have to have the conversation though, and this is kind of going back to this conversation around money, is like I'm not going to want to cook 2 dinners, and it's going to be hard to do that, right? Like, so right. What does it mean in reality if the 3 of us are eating a vegan meal and you want to eat a very different meat heavy meal? Like, that's going to be hard to juggle. So we're going to have some concessions and talk about what that would look like.
Yeah. It's a hard thing. I realized, like I don't know. I've been saying this for a long time that I'm always going to encourage them to do their own thing. And that's like a important parenting value for me, is let the kids be independent thinkers, teach them to make their decisions, teach them to try stuff. But you also want, like, at some point as a parent, it's your place to sort of also
guide
them values and suggest the values that they should have.
Yeah. Totally.
And so there's the balance there. You gotta figure out how you do that.
Right. Like if my 15-year-old kid came home and said, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a vapor,"
right?
I wouldn't say like, "Yeah, I'm going to support that. Sure, I'll buy you a vape." No, I wouldn't say that. No, there's no way.
Yeah, right. That's crossing the line. And there's plenty of families who are so staunchly vegan that they would say, absolutely not. No kid in this family is going to eat that way. And I'm not judging that. Like that's that would be fine. Yeah. But I think, to me, I place the children's ability to think independently higher than that. And we would definitely talk about this stuff. And I would hope that eventually they'd come back, but I don't know. Yeah,
I would want to talk about it. I would also want to talk about like how to do it in a way that's more healthy, and certainly like if they came back and they were like, I want to be carnivore, or I mean, I would have problems if they said, Dad, I want to go fully raw, because I don't know that's healthy, right? And we would want to talk about that.
Kind of the same thing.
And so that's where the parenting comes in my opinion. You guide them on how to do things well, but give them the freedom to kind of make their own decisions around certain things. But there are lines. There are definitely hard lines.
Yep. All right. We're not going to get into the Redditors' responses to this guy because we give our own. They come out on both sides. Mostly the people don't like the guy. But some think he's not in the wrong. You can't double the family's grocery bill for a single member. Justin Kerner here points out, sounds like he's really just bad at shopping for groceries. How are you that surprised at the checkout? I don't know if it said that he was that surprised at the checkout. That's a good point, right? I mean, like if I'm shopping for groceries, I'm looking at the price of every single item, seeing if there's an alternative next to it that's 3/4 of the price, and I'm picking that one generally if there is. And so I would definitely be alarmed if I realized our grocery bill was going to be twice as high this trip, long before I got to the checkout. Maybe they don't care. Maybe there's money no object, except it is, because he's using that as the reason. There's Garuda. Garuda's here to check in.
Aaron says we don't do this every week, but we try to incorporate things that they want to eat in the coming week for family meal planning. So I mean, that's good. If you want to eat certain things, then like let's talk about how we can do that this week.
So if they want steak this week, we'll talk about how to work that into the family meals.
I guess not family meals, but
yeah,
I don't know. And then D1 to No Adventure Coach says, two of my children started working at 16, and they wanted fast food. They would purchase it themselves. They often got their older sisters to purchase meat for them. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I mean, I started working at 15. I think started washing dishes at 15 or 16. 15 because I still had to get driven there.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to get the money to do things that you need.
This is a good point. It's making me think that I'm a little bit hypocritical because my kids, they always want to buy just crap off of Amazon, like just junk.
Mm-hmm.
More my daughter. She wants total junk usually. And if it's a purchase I don't agree with, I'm like, you got to use your own money for that. But if it's something that I think is a nice thing for a kid, often I'll be like, yeah, we can get that for you, or or not. But like, if it's a junky thing, it's like use your own money, you can get it. So I guess if they were coming home saying they wanted to eat paleo, and I thought that was junk, I guess I should, to be consistent, I'd say use your own money for that.
Use your money. How old is your daughter?
That's what I'm saying. Because somehow I think diet is more of a parent obligation to let the kid eat.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't just buy candy for them. I don't know.
Yeah. How old's your daughter?
She's 10.
She's 10. So how does she get money? Allowance? Chores?
Dog watching for neighbors is a big one.
Okay.
Gifts that happen on holidays. People, give the kids Amazon cards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And chores and stuff like that. Little things like that. But no, we don't do allowance. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about this. Let's get to Piers Morgan. This is kind of funny. Is Christspiracy out now? Do you know, Doug?
So it came out in theaters. There's like a 2-day showing in theaters thing release. And then I'm not sure what happened after that. I'm not sure if they have a plan yet or if they've announced what's happening after that.
Okay. So I don't know if he got his hands on an early version of the thing, or he probably didn't even watch it, honestly. He probably heard, I can almost, whatever the word Mr. Jeffrey said was, guarantee without any reservations that he didn't actually watch it. He just, likes to get fired up, doesn't like vegan, and wanted to, got the sound bites or whatever he needed to, and then responded to them with these guys. So he interviewed Kip and Cameron, Kip Anderson, Cameron Waters, and on his show Uncensored. And there's some clips of him talking to them, but basically he said, "Is all this a bit of a joke? It's like you're literally laughing at people." When he came to the pair's strict beliefs, they're saying. And basically, I guess I didn't realize that this was the point of the movie, but from what he's saying, I'm gathering that the point of the movie is to sort of imply that Jesus was vegetarian. And I have trouble understanding how that could be, because it seems so easy to do what Piers Morgan did, which is cite Bible verses. He said, what about this Last Supper? And what about all these different times Jesus has talked about filling the fishermen's nets with fish, and many things that just sound like he ate fish, for sure. And then the Last Supper, maybe even other things were had there. So I don't really know I guess we need to see this movie first to understand what their arguments are. But I don't know. It doesn't sound like if that's what they're trying to do is say he's vegetarian, and there's these direct things from the Bible, the best evidence we have saying that he wasn't. I mean, what? I don't know. How are they going to get anywhere with that argument?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to comment on a film I haven't seen yet. So if someone has watched it in the comments and I saw it in the theaters, I'd love to know what their take was. But yeah, I mean, it does seem a little odd. But but maybe there's something deeper there. There's some big conspiracy, because like I don't think that Jesus being vegetarian is all that conspiratorial. But maybe if there was some big cover up in all the ranks, they changed the teachings to
to
hide.
Well, there is something like that. First of all, Piers said something about, he said, your pretext is that Jesus was a vegetarian and might have been crucified because of his vegetarianism. And then they pointed out, they said the film doesn't say that he was crucified for being vegetarian, but they say there was a massive thing in the film that happened 4 days before he got crucified, which is the cleansing of the temple that's historically documented. And so I think the thing, and they said the film explores the intentions of that. So this cleansing of the temple thing, I think the whole film is around that. But unfortunately, that's all the information I have about what that meant. And so I don't know. I mean, I hope it's not that they just found one event and like started reading into it and making up conspiracy theory, and then kind of forgot the whole rest of the Bible parts that say Jesus clearly ate a lot of fish. And at the Passover meal, which Piers referenced, I don't know how Piers must know his Bible stuff pretty well, or his team does. He said the Passover meal, that included meat. So the truth is, not only did he eat fish, he ate meat. And the article, well, no, they don't leave it there. Here, there's more to this article. I didn't see the end of it. I thought the article ended when it started giving me links to Whitney Houston's tragic autopsy report and other things. But no, there's more. Kip insisted that he read the Bible front to back, and he added that nowhere in the religious book does it claim that Jesus ate the lamb, and then pointed out that Jesus did eat at the Last Supper, but he only had bread and wine was served at that Last Supper. Piers made some joke about veggie. He said, "What do you think was served there? Veggie burgers?" And I don't know what they said about that, but he basically accused them of twisting the actual Bible to do this. He said, you so much want people to believe that Jesus was vegetarian. You guys want him to be a vegetarian, and you're twisting the actual Bible to do that. And I don't know. Makes me want to see the movie. I'm curious now.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious too. What the big conspiracy is. Dale says, maybe Jesus was woke. I think Jesus was woke. I actually don't think. I feel pretty confident. Full confidence, undeniable that Jesus was woke.
Okay. All right. Garuda says Jesus ate fish and lamb. He also said eggs, honey, and dairy is good to eat. Jesus is not a vegetarian. Garuda knows stuff. Garuda knows. I mean, I think a lot of.
How does Garuda know that?
What?
No one knows what Jesus ate. But Leslie, see, I like this statement here. Leslie says, I haven't seen the movie, but I read the entire Bible all the way through 5 or 6 times, and I don't think there's any support of Jesus being vegetarian. So, there you go. But who knows? I really want to see the. I want to see the.
Yeah.
The movie. The Passover meal includes 15 dishes, with some of them fish and chicken.
Okay. If you're a documentarian, you just make stuff that is wildly wrong, and you probably know it's wrong. Like, does that ruin your career if you put out a movie like that, or is that just sort of?
I would think so. These are
like gets people worked up, and then they become fans, and then they watch your next thing and go further down your conspiracies.
I mean, all right. Look, it's again. I don't want to put down a movie I have not seen,
right?
Because I do want to see it.
That. Yeah, agreed.
But
I want to.
See they have had some very successful documentaries.
Yeah, definitely.
Cowspiracy. Seaspiracy. These were popular documentaries.
What the Health, right? I think was theirs.
What the Health? Is that right?
Yeah.
And so like these are very popular documentaries. I mean, so maybe they're running out of ideas, and they're going this route. But I don't think so. I mean, my guess is like they had some reason to do this, and to put out a wild conspiracy theory that that was easily debunked, like that doesn't seem like something they would do.
Right. It doesn't.
I mean, I'm sure that there are plenty of people who do put out wild documentaries. I know that there are, and don't care if they're easily debunked because they get their following or whatever. But these people already had their following. They already had a name. Right? Yeah. They didn't need to do that.
That's a good point. I don't know. They wanted their Da Vinci Code, though. I think they saw this, they smelled this, and they said we can get in on this Da Vinci Code sort of stuff where people get all worked up, and this could become
also like. I wouldn't take on religion. I mean, if like there's so many things to take on.
Right. Yeah, I think we said that about this before. We're like, that's not the way to make the Catholics or Christians go vegan. By telling them that they're wrong. Their leader is different than they thought.
Right.
It's a way to get people to hate veganism, I think.
Yeah.
But so I hope that it wouldn't be that. I thought it was gonna be an interesting kind of exploration about just the overlap between, is veganism consistent? Can it be consistent with Christianity? And I'm curious about that.
It might be, this may be, the whole Jesus being vegetarian thing might be a very tiny part of the whole film. And that's just what Piers latched onto.
Mr. Jeffrey says that Jesus was Jewish in faith and would have most likely followed that diet. I guess the traditional Jewish diet, maybe he's talking about. And I don't even know what that diet really is.
Probably kosher.
Kosher, I would imagine.
I think fish are a big part of a Jewish diet. At least, all I can think of is modern Jewish diet, right? So I don't know.
Gefilte fish, isn't that something Jewish thing? I think so. I don't know. Mr. Jeffrey also says, I just feel that this was wedged into the conspiracy canon, and it does kind of feel that way. But maybe it's breakthrough work. Maybe this is the pioneering big thing. Who knows? All right, good.
Britters has a funny little comment here. Maybe I'm sure Jesus wept when they ran out of veggie burgers.
All right, I'm not gonna try and make fun of religion in any way.
No, of course not.
No, I know. We're on the edge. We're ready to do that. We can keep going and it would go that way. We're not gonna do that. I don't want to.
No.
Respect all beliefs. Not all, but a lot. All right, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, we got Carly on Thursday, so that'll be fun. Don't know what we'll do tomorrow. We'll see. There's a new book out about social media and teens. I put it in our list, Doug, that I said we wouldn't get to it today. But it's a new book. A guy who I think has upset people before says that, like, I think he wrote The Coddling of the American Mind. He co-wrote that. And he says like this idea about like people needing their space and all this stuff is like overblown. People, they need more kind of tough love, and you got to just, deal with stuff. So he's already controversial. He's put this thing out now saying social media is the entire problem, basically. Not the entire. Let's be fair. He's saying this is a massive problem for teens' mental health, which doesn't sound that controversial. I thought everyone accepted that. But there's a whole bunch of responses to it. People saying this is just not supported by the science. There's a lot of evidence for correlation for sure. But there's really not much to say that social media is causing this. So we may get into that tomorrow. It's far from our normal topics, but I found it interesting because we can talk about it.
I would like to read up on that.
All right, we'll see. Maybe we'll get to that tomorrow. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks for the comments, participation as always. Garuda says I want that 2,000-year-old veggie burger recipe, and that'd be good. I think that's what we need more of. We need those real. I bet you can see the vegetables in that veggie. Not this new Frankenfood stuff. I bet it's get veggie burger. So yeah, I'd like that as well.
Thanks to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Stats.
Yeah, and please go give us nice comments there. The comments there are starting to kill me. I can't even. I hate reading them.
Yeah, they're bad.
Somebody said, "Why do you look so tired and old?" They're like, "You guys' voices sounds like you're young, but if I look at you, it looks like you're going on 40." I'm not going to go in there and respond and say, "Look, dude, I'm way past 40." So you complimented me. You basically said that I look a little younger than that, and my voice is way younger than that. So I must be lively and full of life. Oh, and he at the end he concluded one more reason not to go vegan: the fact that we look like we're pushing 40. But I mean, how can you make that accusation without having no idea how old we are? It just doesn't make sense.
I thought it was so funny. I got a real laugh out of that. See, I kind of want to go in and start digging in. I commented to somebody yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah, I did. I was at Disney World though, so I didn't pay a lot of attention.
Somebody said, where this was because I was defending the pizza and pasta and bread, and in the podcast, they said, well, at least Doug doesn't have to worry about a long retirement or funding a long retirement or something like that.
So you'll die early?
Yeah, because I'm planning that I would die early. But,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just people are so funny. Leave us good comments. If you actually do in fact have something nice to say. If you don't, say whatever you want to. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me that much, but it's just it's day after day after day going in there and seeing those things. Like every time I see the notification for new comments, I'm like, I just don't even want to see them. Which is funny. That never happened in the old days of Nominati, and it speaks to how different this whole world is. I think, or maybe YouTube comments have always been terrible, and we never did YouTube before. So maybe it's just that we've migrated onto the platform where the comments are terrible. But I don't think it's that. I think there's so much just like hate now, and both sides. It happens both ways, I'm sure. But I don't like it. It bothers me.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Okay. Well, that's it.
Just don't read the comments, Matt. Just skip the notifications. Quit reading the comments.
Yeah, I should. I used to do that, and they don't bother me like they used to. It's just the number of them. They repeat. I just constantly seeing them. But anyway, thanks everyone for showing up. Give us nice comments. Give us likes, please, on YouTube. That's always very helpful. Smash the like button, as they say. Share it. Put notifications on. All those things. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Have a great